Happy Thursday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 441. It is Thursday, October 16th, 2025. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. That's a long time. I have 3 cards for you tonight, and this is Stamp Camp Part 2. On a Sunday, I did 2 cards from my Stamp Camp, so that was Part 1. So if you missed it, go ahead and go back and watch the replay. That was hashtag number 40. Sorry, 440. And so you could go back and watch how those were made. And you can kind of see my style. And if you are in town, I'm going to show you a flyby of the in-person card that we're going to be doing at the event. And that's on November 1st. That's in a couple weeks, guys. One day after Halloween. I mean, Halloween is going to be right here, right in center. And then all of a sudden, it's going to be Saturday, November 1st. And so, I mean, we're almost halfway done with this month. I mean, it's like this year has gone by so fast. So anyways, I'm going to put you down on my table. And if you get motion sickness or anything like that, look away. And I'll let you know when I am done fooling around with the camera. So hold on. So hopefully everybody has had a good week so far. And I'm going to hold this and loosen, so hopefully we will have a nice little sticky transition there, and we'll hold it, tighten it, and there we go. All right, so we're going to move this a little forward, and we're going to squish in. There we go. I think that's a little too squish. Let's unsquish just a tad bit. There we go. Does that look good? I think that looks good, right? All right. Less camera base, more matte. All right. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page. It's Stampin' for Joy. My YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. You can place your order anytime, 24/7. Then you can email me at penguinz33@outlook.com if you wish to be on my email list. Then I have a Facebook page as well, Stampin' for Joy. So how this works is that I am recording on my Facebook Live, Joy Borwedge page, and then I take a picture of today's projects and then post them on my Stampin' for Joy Instagram page, and then I download this video to my YouTube page as well as my Facebook page. So that way, after the 30 days that my Facebook Lives are allowed to live, then they are on YouTube. So while you are visiting me, please like and share and on Facebook and on YouTube, because the algorithms love that and will allow people to see my page better. So that helps me out very much. Let's talk about right now. This is the annual catalog. And then we also have the holiday mini catalog. Okay, that just froze for just a few seconds, so now it's back. So this is the annual catalog, and this is the holiday mini catalog. Now, the annual catalog is going to end at the end of April. Now, this holiday mini catalog ends at the end of December. So you could purchase through both of these right now. And if you do not have a demonstrator, I would love to earn your business. Now, right now, this is the September online exclusives. We have a pre-order for demonstrators in the November online exclusives, but I'm not allowed to show you until November 1st what the front of it looks like. And that is because Patty Bennett had talked to demo support and demonstrator support, so we're not supposed to show the pages or the front of the pamphlet that we demonstrators print out. So as a demonstrator, I get to pre-order from the November releases. And if you sign up to be a demonstrator, you could use those releases in your starter kit. So you could pick anything from the annual catalog, the holiday mini catalog, and the online exclusives. You can also pick, why does it look dark? You can also pick the, let's see, the last chance list as well. So I'm just going to take this one away and see if this helps with my camera not looking so dark. Okay, so we have two different, I'm just going to put them both out there. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. All right, just took a drink. And so if you would love to have a 20% discount on all your future products, here is a great way to do it. So normally the starter kit is you pay 99 bucks and you get to pick out $125 worth of product, whatever you want, and it's free shipping. Right now, they kind of have two different specials going on. Number one, you can pay $35 and pick out $125 worth of product and no shipping. If you were to go in my online store and pick out $125 worth of product, you would pay shipping. But if you signed up as a demonstrator, that is one of the perks. Now, hi Barb, welcome. Barb is a demonstrator as well, so she knows about this great deal. Now, if you want to go with the larger kit, you pay $99 and you pick out $189 worth of product out, and again, it's free shipping. So again, if you were to go in my online store and pick $189 of product out, you would pay shipping. But doing this, you would also get that 20% discount, and you would not have to meet the quarterly minimums until the end of April. So that is a cool way to sign up. And one thing about being a demonstrator, you get to know, you get to look at all the releases. So the spring mini, the holiday mini, the catalog that's coming out in May, we all get a sneak peek, and we get to pre-order from those, generally a month early. We also receive our 20% discount on other sales. Now, I actually receive a 25% discount, and so if there was a free shipping day, I would receive my 25% discount plus my free shipping. So, I mean, it's a great way to earn crafting products at a discount. All right, enough of that. Okay, so then right now, Standing Together Against Breast Cancer, Stampin' Up! Has chosen this stamp set. It's called Love and Courage, and they're going to donate for every stamp set that this sells. They're going to donate $3 to breast cancer organizations. So this is in the holiday mini catalog. So if you'd like to take a closer look at it, check it out. Then we have, in the beginning of October, the last chance products list was updated. So some of the things that they're not going to restock was put on this last chance list, and that was from the online exclusives. A lot of it was. So if you like a good deal, the discounts also kind of level up. So if they start out at, say, 10% off, sometimes they'll work their way up to 60% off. So check the last chance list products, because this is also a great way to see what deals there are out there. Now, this hasn't been sold out yet, so this is a really cool crafting project. Now, what it is a crafting advent calendar. Now, the products inside do not come from a Christmas theme, or a winter theme. So if you were to take a look at this, you could see maybe some things made with some of the products on the inside. So if you order the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar, which is 167335, it is $99. You could buy it for yourself, or you could buy it for a gift for someone who is a crafty person. Now, you can open up one door each day, or you can open all of them all at once. It is your calendar, and it is your choice. It's your choice as to when you open the days up. But it is in the online store, and I don't know how many of them they made, so it's while supplies lasts. So check that out before they are gone. All right. Now, Stampin' Up! Is doing something different. They added a craft class featuring the products from the Traditions of Christmas. Now, some of the things are actually unavailable right now until November 17th. So if you were to join this class, which is 170073, I believe it's $30 for the craft class, you will be sent a link so that you could view it later and on demand. So you will be able to order the products if you don't have them already, and you can substitute with other things to complete the projects. I know that there are going to be 3 cards and 1 home decor piece. Now, Stampin' Up! Has, once you purchase the class, they will send you things that you can get prepped. So then that way, when you have designer series paper cut up and you have die cut certain things, then it will go faster for you. So you could pre-prep for that as well. And the Traditions of Christmas suite is 165877. So I know that number's not going to work right now because I believe the designer series paper is out. But they also suggest that the designer series paper that you could, if you wish to substitute, would be the Season of Elegance paper. Now, this was in last year's holiday mini catalog, and the designer series paper is absolutely stunning. And it's on page 117 in the annual catalog. So I have done several Facebook Lives featuring that designer series paper. And they also suggested that any gold embellishments would be good too. So don't look at it as, oh, you're offering a class and we can't buy the product. You could buy a lot of the product still. You can buy all the product, watch the video, and then see how it goes. And then you know what? You can go back once you get your Traditions of Christmas suite all together and then craft at your own leisure. So, I mean, it's a cool way to see what Stampin' Up! Has designed for us. All right, and then last but not least, the paper pumpkin is something that I have always been a member of once it came out. I thought that was a really cool thing that each month you get something delivered to your door and you don't necessarily know what it is. Well, here is a paper pumpkin that's called Wrapped in Cheer. And so this is just kind of a little sneak peek. And if you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin between October 11th and November 10th, you made it in time for this specific Paper Pumpkin. And if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you also get to purchase coordinating add-on projects now, or products. So these add-ons will fill the quarter of October, November, and December. So everything here is made to coordinate with the paper pumpkins for October, November, and December. Now, you don't have to purchase them, but if it's something that you want to add to collection, go ahead. It's in my online store. All right, guys. Now, do you want to see what we made? Oh, first of all, I forgot to talk about the Stampin' event. That is November 1st. And I'm doing a flyby, so incoming. This is going to be a card that you will be making using the Lights of Aurora. And that's actually a fun fold. And it's actually a really cool fun fold. So for you who are in town, November 1st, come on over. Sign up at thestampinevent.com. And you will make 16 cards, and we also have quite a few. There's 5 of us demonstrators, and there's quite a bit of retired product that you can purchase as well. And it's deeply discounted. All right, now the virtual event, this is for anybody who lives in the United States. If you wish to join, we are doing a Zoom meeting Saturday, November 15th. And if you purchase this class, what happens is you get a packet in the mail. And it has 4 cards from Heidi and 4 cards from me. And we do videos, we play videos. And that way, if we mess up, we can redo the video. And we can also stop it. We can hold on a little bit while people get caught up. If there's a question on anything, we could stop it. And then that way, everybody crafts together. Now, if you're like Joy, I have plans for November 15th. Well, we send out all the videos to you, so then that way you get a chance to put these projects together at your leisure. Now, we do let you know, I think ahead of time, what stamp sets we're using. I am for sure using the Lights of Aurora, and incoming, this is one of the cards that you will be making. And then I'm using Traditions of Christmas, and Painterly Pairs, and Branching Out. So if you have those stamp sets, you will be able to use the greetings that I have used for the virtual event. Now, we feature dies, Designer Series paper. We give you paper generally in a form of die cuts, so then that way you can add a greeting, whatever you have from your own stash. But if you wish to embrace the wonder with Lights of Aurora, go ahead, grab that. And let's see, I think that's enough for our, oops, I almost showed that card again. Okay, so I am done putting that, so that's going there. All right, so first card, we're actually doing Lights of Aurora. How funny. Okay, so when I first got this stamp set, I really did not know what the heck I was doing. So what I did was I played around with this stamp set because I've not had any of the, and you probably can't see that, but there's trees down there in Blackberry Bliss. But I have never had a landscape card bundle slash suite before. So I was playing around with it, trying to decide, oops, yeah, don't forget, join up for the virtual event. And let's see here. This is another one featuring the Designer Series paper and the dies that coordinate with this. And I used the silver embossing powder, and that's the inside. Now, the trees are the back side of the Designer Series paper, and so that coordinated beautifully with that stamp set. All right, this is kind of taken, I used the stamp or the holiday mini catalog as a idea board to jump off from, and there is kind of an elongated card that I kind of took. This was actually my first card that I made with them, and this was the only non-Designer Series paper card that I used, actually featuring most of the dies. Then I used this one. Now I splattered Wink of Stella kind of like for the stars, but you can't really see that all that much on there. Then I took the Balmy Blue ribbon and used my Berry Burst Stampin' Blends, and I colored that ribbon. And there is the inside. Now, what I've done is when the Highland Heather trees, okay, when you die cut them, you take the trees away. And I'm actually going to show you how to do that tonight to create that. This is a very simple one, very elegant, and I really love how this card turned out. And there is a little bit of the trees and a little bit of the blue behind it, the balmy blue. And may your day be filled with magic and light. Now that could be a perfect birthday card. And this is my favorite one. This is an easel card. So it sits like that. And I really like the colors that it plays. So that's how it sits on the mantle or the desk. Now this one says, wishing you a year of magic and wonder. So again, that could be a birthday card, that could be Christmas, it could be a Happy New Year card. And so the colors, I'm not going to read all of them to you. There's a lot of colors that coordinate with this Designer Series paper, but I'm just going to kind of flip through them because the back side, I really haven't featured the back side. Now that one to me looks like it could be Secret Sea or black, actually. It could be Designer Series paper black, but it's not bluish, not purple. Okay, so now the back side, it doesn't say anything about the Aurora lights. So if you feel a little kind of, where do I start? Buy 2 packs. And then one side could be used for the beautiful lights of Aurora, and then you can use the back side for anything that has nothing, you know what I'm saying? So you can certainly do fun things with both sides, but then you don't feel so bad. Now you get 6 designs and you get 8 sheets of each design. So you can mass produce Christmas cards if you want. All right. So the card that we're going to play with today is featuring So everybody got a kit like this. Now I did a lot of the die cutting for this particular group because I don't really do easy. I tried to make a couple cards that are easy, but it doesn't always turn out that way when I design them. But, excuse me, darn frogs are in my throat. Okay, so, all right, so somebody's going to win my cards. And what I am going to do is the people who like and shared my video on Sunday, they're going to get entered into the drawing, as well as if you did a thumbs up or a heart, you're going to get entered into the drawing. Now, today's cards is going to be 3 different cards. So I basically want 5 different winners. But if the same people watch Sunday and the same people watch today, I may or may not take out the names. So you might end up winning 2. I don't know. All right, so I have a piece of basic white. I have a piece of Pool Party. Then that balmy blue ribbon. A piece of that Designer Series paper. Now the Highland Heather piece is the actual card. And then we have the card base, which is balmy blue. No. What was I thinking? Yeah, balmy blue. So the reason why I went with this is because I took the Designer Series paper and I said, what colors do I see with this? And there's a little bit of blue, there's a little bit of Pool Party, and there is a little bit, hi Tina. Tina made these cards at my stamp camp. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of do the easy things right now, and then we're going to grab the Stampin' Cut and Boss machine because they had to do a little bit of die cutting, not too much. All right, so we're going to add this to the front of the card. How you doing, Tina? Welcome. Okay, and that goes there, and then this actually gets attached. Let's see, how did I do this on the inside of the card? Nope, we're going to do something right. I did this after I attached the card. And so I was just about to do it again. So because I have the adhesive on the back, I am going to use my silicone craft mat, and because I can lift it up without having it stick. All right, so we're going to put this off to the side because we're going to grab the Stampin' Cut and Boss machine right now, and might as well do the die cutting right now because then I can show you how I made the stencil. Okay. You just got home from work, huh? You haven't really missed anything. All right, so we need platform number 1. We're just doing regular die cutting. And so it tells us we need platform number 1. We need the additions, number 2. And then we need plate number 3. That is a very well-loved and used plate. And then I try to keep my plate clear, but the thing is that when I have stamp camps, they don't always necessarily do that. So that's why I put the top and bottom on here. So then that way it reminds them that try not to cut on this, because then I can see a lot better. So what we're going to do is we're going to decide where we want our tree line. And so I told everybody to kind of go to the top as much as you can, and then run that through. Now, I am just going to actually put one Post-it note on there. It's really not going to make a difference. Now, your trees, depends on how much you move them, might not stay straight. So pay attention to your your trees. Otherwise, it looks like it's a very windy day. Is one of my tricks and tips for you. All right, so we're just going to put this through. Now I'm going to get rid of the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine for just a moment. And I am going to grab my die brush. Now, I love my Take Your Pick tool. That is the reason why I bought a second Take Your Pick tool. And then I purchased the die brush. Now the die brush comes with this and a foam mat. So I actually have 3 foam mats from previous Take Your Pick tools. So I have this, and it stays in this container because I had a cat that loved foam, and this is a very well loved one. You could see there's some bite marks in there, and then this one's really fresh. So I use that for my Take Your Pick tool, and that way I'm not unscrewing, screwing, unscrewing, screwing. So I suggest buying 2 Take Your Pick tools and then having that. So this is what we want. Okay, so none of the pieces got stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the die brush and just kind of roll it over, and it got most of the dies. So I'm just going to poke the 3 holes, and this will now go back in my die packaging. And then we'll talk about that in just a second. You're going to keep this, okay? This you're going to use, but you're going to use this in what I call a different way. And then what I'd like to do is take a Pampered Chef scraper thingy and just scoop that in there. So when I'm doing a bunch of die cutting for, say, like an event, this is how I do mass producing. So get all my dies on here, put them through, cut out the intricate pieces, and then take this and throw that away. Now, once you're done, put your lid back on your people poker, because otherwise you will be the people it pokes. And now we could put the rest of this away. We might need it again. And I want to show you another tip. So then, if you, and this is for me, if you get a bunch of dies and you do not know how to put that back together, what I did is I have a printer in my office / bedroom, and this is how it came to from Stampin' Up. I took this, put this in the copier, and took a picture and cut it. So then that way I can put it back. I have my fan going. You could put it back in here, and it goes inside. Now this is also a stencil that I have kept, and I put that in here too. Okay, so now for me to put this back in here, I can put my trees back in. Fingernails back where they go. And then I can stick this one upside down. Now, if you look at it and you're like, you know what? I can maneuver things around a little bit to make there's more space, or if you want to maneuver it and then take a photocopy of it, that way you know how to stick everything back in. But now, I always fold this piece, and I have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss facing the part with the envelope flap. Okay, now once the new designs come out, I will probably do the same thing. I will put my dies on the sheets. Now, I got mine from work because I work for a printing company that uses magnet sheets, and that stuff is expensive as all get out. And they were going to throw it away. So I asked if I could have a couple sheets, and then I chopped them down to bite-sized chunks, so then that way they could fit. So then now I have Light and Wonder dies. It's on page 37. Now I know that this is not in the annual catalog. This is in the holiday mini. So that's how I keep track of it. And then now the back side is on there, plus the number is down there, and it tells me that I have 9 dies in there. So I could see the information. This part here doesn't mess with any of the dies and doesn't fling them, and it doesn't dislodge them. So this is how I am actually going to probably keep my dies when the new packaging comes. But I'm actually excited. Not that I keep all my stuff, but when things retire, I designate them in a specific spot. All right, so you know how I said we're going to keep this and we're going to use it as a stencil. So I am going to I'm going to take a scrap piece of paper and I'm just going to put that right here because I don't want to turn the card front, the back of the front. I don't want to color that unless I want to do a whole. You don't need to watch me do that. We're going to be here long enough. Okay, so I'm going to take out the Gorgeous Grape and Pool Party. And so with the Gorgeous Grape, oops, I'm going to leave this open a little bit. When you're paper crafting and you're using your die brushes and you have several brushes, take them, leave the lid open a little bit, and in that way they're not falling all over the place. And excuse me. I'm going to use this as we can always add color. So we're just going to go grab a little bit of color, get a little bit off, and we're just going to hold that right there and stencil the color in. Now you can make this as big as you want your stencil so you don't necessarily go over that. And now I made the first one a little bit darker, and then I moved it just a little bit and a little bit. You could see that there's a little tiny bit in there. Grab some more. And go like that. And then a little bit So there's just a little shadow in the background. And then a little bit more over here. Okay. And that, so you can see the trees as a, you can use that top part of the trees as a stencil. Okay. Excuse me. And then we're going to use, I'm going to put that over there. There's a rhinestone on that. Why is there a rhinestone on that? Okay, we're going to stick that rhinestone on there. All right, and then this is our trees. Ooh, I just bent the trees. No bending the trees. Okay, so then we're going to take the stamps, and I cleaned them. I'm like, where did they go? Okay, so we're going to embrace. We're going to do that as close to the bottom as possible. Beautiful. Okay, and then allergies are wrecking with my sinuses. Ugh, and drive me nuts. Okay, so then we're going to take this piece. This is actually the inside of our card, and we're going to stamp Wonder, and that is going to be in Gorgeous Grape. Now, this is a beautiful purple. I don't use it very much, but ever since the Designer Series paper told me what to use, I use it quite a bit. In fact, I'm going to have to do a paper purchase. You know, nothing fun, nothing, you know, on my pre-order, do a bunch of paper purchasing. Okay, so then we're going to take that and put that there. And so it's going to say, embrace the wonder. And that way, when I did this, for this card, I thought that that could be used for anything, as well as like a birthday, a Christmas. Now we're going to do the same thing here. This is just going to be a little bit down at the bottom. And like I said, you can always do this as dark as you want or as light as you want. You could do this to the front of the envelope. The flap would be really cool. Now, some of my, this one here picked up some of the purple. That actually turned out really cool. I didn't plan that. So there we go. So now we're going to just do that just a little bit in the background, shading, and a little bit there. Okay, so there's just a little bit on that side. And this kind of, this is a, you take a quarter sheet. Well, actually, let me show you. So you take an 8.5 by 11 and you cut it at 4 1/4, and then you get 2 3/4, 2 3/4, 2 3/4. So you get 8 sheets like this size that can go on the inside of your card. So if you don't want to do a lot of signing, this is the way to do it. Okay, so we're going to close these ink pads up because we are done. Wait, how did a little bit of the tree get in there? Okay. And let's see. this one up. And we'll finish putting that card together. And we have Wink of Stella. And I have Wink of Stella at every station. We had 5 different stations at on Sunday when I had the stamp camp. And we had people in the kitchen. We had people in my hallway. Okay, that one's not going to stay somewhere. All right. So, I mean, it actually turned out really well. So that way people, you know, who were faster stampers got done quicker. And on Friday, I just basically let them do 1 card at a time because they both worked on the same card at the same time. And they're really good friends. So they... Thank you, Tina. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I really like the 2 colors of that. Okay, so then now we're going to flip this over and attach it. Now, I'm actually going to take the, let's see. I'm thinking, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to attach it to the front. And, okay, I think I'm good. Okay, now we can burnish. Okay, so what I suggested doing was putting a little bit of tape in here. And I'm going to grab a baby wipe because I have a little bit of the purple on here. And I do not wish to color anything purple. And because, like I said, somebody's going to win this card, and I want it to be nice. All right. Somebody on my YouTube page watched a video and said that I put my dies on my cards really nicely. And I said, thank you. And I said, I pick winners. And it needs to, you know, look nice because I do not wish to redo the card. And so I said, thank you. I've never had that compliment. That okay, I was trying to dry this off. I'm just going to rub it on my Zubas. All right, there we go. We're dry. Okay, so what I suggested was put a little bit of tape and watch it blow. Like I said, I have the fan going on. And I'm going to put it so that it's just directly below the tree line, but above the greeting. And we're going to put dimensionals on here. Okay, come on, just a little bit. There we go. And now we're going to put dimensionals on here. And where did my take your pick tool go? Right here. Okay, so we're going to put that down. Actually, I'm going to put the dimensionals down just so that if I need to reposition my ribbon, I can. I'm going to go up in there and up right in there, and maybe one more down here. All right, so I'm going to stab and grab those backings. When you have ribbon, oh, just go away. I like to attach it to my card first. So then that way it gives it stability. So we're going to put this down here. Hi, Pauline, welcome. Okay, so we're going to decide where that's going to go. And now there's two ways to do this. And for me, I use a glue dot. So just grab a mini glue dot. And I'm actually going to put it a little bit. I kind of liked it. Yeah, we're going to do it right where the, kind of like where the opening is. Because there's more space over on this side, so it's not exactly in the center, but that's okay. Everybody's card turned out differently. All right, so I got a glue dot right there. And then if we tie this in a knot above that mini glue dot, then see, you're not messing around with a lot of stuff. All right, so we're just going to put that through and move that over and then tie. Now I see my ribbon underneath. So what you do with that is take another mini glue dot, okay, parts of it, I guess, and you're going to take that on top, grab it, and smush it underneath. And nobody is going to be the wiser, except for people who watch this video. All right, so now we're going to snip off those ends. And we're going to add a little bit of, let's see, we're going to tear that off, and we're going to put our stars. And, oh, that's where that one came from. Okay. Remember I had that extra rhinestone? Came off my original card. Okay, so I created a triangle so it's more pleasing to the eye. And I'm going to put my lid back on my People Poker. And now we're going to grab the Wink of Stella. And see how my tree moved over a little bit? That's okay. It's a very windy day where the Aurora Borealis are hanging out. So you can put a little bit of Wink of Stella on your trees. Oops. Kind of see there's a ridge there, and you probably won't see it until, I mean, if you were in person, you would be able to see that ridge. So I'm just leaving that a little different. And then I'm just going to kind of come back this way and lay my brush on the side. Okay, so that is the outside of the card. All right, I need to take a little bit more off of that side because it's a little uneven. And this is a very fun suite. And now we're going to go to the inside, and we're just going to do a little bit of the main trees here. So what do you think? That is card number 1 from my stamp camp this past weekend. Okay, so now we're just going to take a few seconds to clean up. And all right, so this is Facebook Live. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. Facebook Live number 441, card 1. Okay, that is, well, I should take that off. Put that on the back side because I want to know which one is mine and which one. This is the original and this is the one that I made tonight. So there's really not much difference. Okay, so then now we're going to grab, so the inside, so you could say, may your day be filled with, wishing you a year of, embrace the magic, you are a, and then your strength inspires me. I mean, talk about a wonderful bundle. Okay, so those are all clean. Now, if you want to go back in and catch the replay about the tips and tricks about how to store your mega dies, that is a great tip. Okay. The next card is a fun card. It's using one of my favorite stamps out of the new Holiday Mini. It's a bundle, and it's called Branching Out. And it is, it's on page 50, and it's right here. And in my opinion, Pauline, thank you very much. This is a sleeper, okay? This is a stamp set, and the dies are phenomenal. But the stamp set brings you all the way from the beginning of January through the end of December. I mean, if you know anybody who likes to camp, hike, go hunting, I mean, this is outdoor stuff. This is not anything, but you can certainly make it a Christmas card if you want to. And there's not any Christmas greetings in here. The only thing that's in here could say from our family to yours. So, I mean, I don't know. That could be happy birthday. That could be a Christmas card. So it's really whatever you make it to be. Okay. So I did a little bit of die cutting on here, and I took the rhinestones and I colored them with pecan pie so that they coordinate with the designer, the, what do you call it? The earthen tone piece. Earthen toned, the metallic. Now, it's not copper, it's not bronze, it's like chocolate, it's brown, okay? And it's really cool. I love, and I hope it moves forward. Okay, so we have, this is a fun fold. So we have a piece of old olive, we have another piece of old olive, we have the old olive twine from the Early Espresso linen thread, I'm sorry. It's in the online store, and it's Early Espresso and Old Olive linen thread pack. And I might have to order another pack because I've used a lot. We have Very Vanilla and another piece of Very Vanilla. I die cut a berry out. This is the inside. This is Old Olive. This is going to be our card base. And then this is our two-toned cardstock. Mossy Meadow. So I took the light Mossy Meadow, okay, and put that on the front so that it stands out a little bit. I didn't want that much of a stark contrast, so I did the light Mossy Meadow. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine and we're going to put it through. Okay, so first of all, let's show you the branching out dies. These dies, like I said, are phenomenal, and they're all stitched, and they're nested dies. This stamp set, it says, wishing you a day filled with many happy moments to a very special someone, sent with lots of love from our family to yours. Happiest birthday wishes, friend. I love the font on this hello. Thinking of you brings joy to my heart. I mean, that would make anybody smile. And we're using, oh, that's where that is. I knew I was missing one. I need to rinse that one out. Okay. And so this is the Birchwood 3D embossing folder. And so this is in the annual catalog. And so what I had them do is take the light side facing up, put it in the embossing folder, and basically you're going to line it up with the line on the front of the embossing folder. Now, when you see that line, it helps you get straight images. Also, when you're die cutting and you see the Stampin' Up! Logo, that is the up version, so that your card is going to be embossed. If you were to actually use the other side, this is the dark side, this would be the debossed, but we want the embossed for this particular card. So I'm just going to run this through the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. I'm not going to bring it in. I shall be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, that went very quickly. And there we go. Isn't that? Now we're going to do something fun with that. Okay, so we're going to take, and where did I put it? The bin, I'm going to get out the stamps. So then I'm trying to take, let's see, there it is. I have the sandpaper in there underneath. So we're going to be using Early Espresso, Old Olive, and again, a brush, and then Mossy Meadow and Pecan Pie. I might as well just get those going. So we're going to take sanding paper and we're going to just bring this over. And I told them that they can sand as much as they want off. Now, this is the two-tone cardstock. So when you have the two-tone, it is white in the center. So Stampin' Up! Has the printer add the color so that it's white on the inside. And so this gives you that really cool technique. And you can sand off as much as you want to reveal okay, so now my Berry Vanilla has little shards on it. Okay, I'm going to grab my, let's see if this one's still wet. Yep. This one is just a tad bit wet. I'm just going to remove this, tap that down, and I'm going to grab the cardstock leftovers. And that way, that will just get cleaned up later. Okay, so there we go. And now we're going to glue this to the front of our card. Now, the reason why we're gluing it to the front is because we're going to die cut that. And I wanted to make sure that the die cut that they were doing, I didn't want them to die cut it first and then have to sandpaper a small piece and then like end up wrinkling it. So we only put adhesive on the outside, and we're going to center that in. Okay, and now we're just going to flip that over and give that a nice burnish. Okay, now for just a moment, I'm going to take my, where's my bone folder? My bone folder is not, oh, there it is. It's actually in this particular one, so that's good. So I'm just going to burnish this, and this piece is going to be burnished facing forward, okay? This card layout was from Simply Simple Stamping, Connie Stewart, but this is her layout, but my design, because it's a fun fold, and I wanted to make sure that she gets credit for it. Now, I don't know if somebody else, you know, I did something like this a while ago, using a circle. So this is actually my first time using this die. Okay, I'm going to take this piece, and this is from the dies, and we're going to color that in, and we're using the dark cherry cobbler and then the pecan pie. This is the light. Now I'm just going to sit. Sherry, welcome. How you doing? Now I'm just going to sit down for a second. So all right, so this is the nib tip, and this is on Basic Beige. And so I am just coloring. There's no shading or anything on here. And we're just coloring the twig. Okay. And then we're going to color the berries. Oh, come on. They're a little tight, and that's okay. So this this is a scrap piece of Basic Beige, and I just cut this out with the die cut, and then let everybody color their berries in. And if I need to go back in with the pecan pie, I will. And if you wanted to leave the berries white, you could too. But I just wanted a little pop of color, because this is actually more of kind of a natural themed card. And it's a birthday card, actually. Okay, so that's done. We're done coloring. we're going to actually, oh, crap. I forgot to do something. No, I didn't. Never mind. I thought I did, but I didn't. Good. All right. So we're just going to put these parts over here in the corner because we're going to grab the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. And because I want you to see this part of the card. I told you we'll be doing a little bit of die cutting today. Okay, so again, we're using platform number 1, the adapter number 2, the bottom number 3. And so as you noticed when we were adding this on, we only did the adhesive on the outside. I'm trying to open up. There we go. So we're going to put this on the card here, and we're going to try to center it. I'm eyeballing it. It's not anything that we need to be specific at. All right, but when I put this piece on, I'm only going to put it on right before the fold, and that way none of this is going to make any indents on the back side of that. Okay. And then so this die, there we go. We're going to use that. So, and then we're actually going to use that. So this is what we have right now, is a hole in the center. Okay, so this die can go away, and we are doing double duty. We needed a pine bough. So no sense in getting another sheet of old olive, cut it to the specific size of this when we don't need this. And plus, we're actually going to use that as a stencil, because I'm trying to show you how to do things, not necessarily, you know, a little above and beyond. All right, there we go. There's our old olive, and there is our stencil. So we could put this die back in the bin, and we're going to get the stamps out so that we can grab them when we need them. Put this back. We'll put that in the garbage, and all right. Sherry, are you coming to the event on November 1st? Or the virtual event? All right, I have to take a drink. Okay. So this one is Old Olive, and I am going to take a little bit of Mossy Meadow, and just going to grab a little bit of color and just kind of pounce on it, just so that it has a little bit of life to it. So a little bit of shading. I don't know if you could see that, but there's a little bit on there. Okay, so that is our pine bough. Now, what we're going to do is, let's see, we're going to put that, I'm going to close that up for now. And we're going to stamp our greeting for these two pieces. Now I'm going to grab, I just want to make sure that there's no fuzz on these because this has been sitting around. Because, you know, I have cats. And I cleaned all of these after the event on Sunday. And because I'm doing, you know, a Facebook Live, I couldn't put my stuff away. And tonight, I will clean everything and I will put everything back where it goes. So happy, happy, joy, joy. Because it drives me nuts. All right. So I am going to use Early Espresso. And this is going to say, wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. And that is going to be the greeting for the front. And I'm just going to practice. Okay, it looks good. Okay. Yay! That's awesome. Okay, so that is that. And then I love, love, love this font for the hello. I mean, it's, I don't know. I just, I love it. I know I'm such a dork, but that's okay. My husband knows that. He's the one that said, will you marry me? And I said, yeah. Dork, 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 dork. All right. So, seeing as how we got that on there, so then now we're going to use, I should just left this open, but, you know, my mind goes, squirrel. Okay, so this is the smaller branch. And I am going to come from the top there, and then we are going to go right there. Okay, so then just going to put that away for now. And I'm going to use Old Olive. No, I used Mossy Meadow. Yeah, I used Mossy Meadow for the leaves. I'm sorry, but this is a bough or a pine branch. That is not a leaf. Okay, so what I told them to do was stamp straight on and then stamp off. So you have somebody stamped off. And so then it's different colors. It's not the same. Now, I like using the one. And I know that there's one that has 3 different bows, but I don't want to have to sit there and try to get them to fit. So, no. That's what we're doing. And there is no wrong way to stamp this. You can use as many or as little greeneries as you want. Okay? And there we have it. Okay, seriously, where is all that coming from? Let's wipe it on my pants. It's water soluble. Okay, so then, pine cones. That's going to be pecan pie. Now, I don't know why they gave you 2 pine cones. I really don't. Because if you're stamping, you only need 1 pine cone in your hand. But you could have more pine cones if you want, I guess. 2 people working on pine cones. It really, you know, I don't know, however you want it. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so then we'll just put that over to the side. That is done. And we like this, so we're going to add this to the inside of the card. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to put this off to the side for just a moment, and we're going to grab the Mossy Meadow again, and we're going to take the stencil that we have on here, and I'm going to pick up some color, dab some of that color off, and just make this is just going to be a shadow, okay? It's not going to be very in tune. So you could keep, you don't have that set, Barb? Oh my gosh, it is so wonderful. I've done a couple Facebook Lives already with it, and like I said, it's a sleeper set, and you do need to get it. Lucky you can get it at a discount. All right. Okay. So now we're going to cut this hello out. And we're just gonna fussy cut this. Now I have to face towards the light, otherwise I have a shadow. And so you can go as deep as you want for a bubble around the word hello. Now don't cut your O off because it's not attached. Yeah, Barb, you do need the set. It makes a great masculine set. And we'll go back in. And we'll now move your paper rather than your scissors, and then you have a better cut. I almost cut off my H. That would have been a hello. All right. Thank you so much. You were very sweet. Okay. And then we're just going to go up a little bit and down and readjust. There we go. Now that's not perfect, but it's good enough. Okay. So then, let's get rid of the scissors. Okay. And how shall we do this? Okay, so we're going to take this piece and we're going to put adhesive on the back. Now, you can sit there and say, Oh, and actually it does fit. Okay, you can actually try to fit the grooves. So when you actually attach it, you put it back in the same spot. And that worked out perfectly. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so there we go. And then I actually did this just like that. There's a piece of adhesive and a piece of fuzz. And let me see. I put a little tiny bit of, I'm going to get rid of this because the background is annoying me. We're going to cut a little bit of, come here, the end pieces of the, is that skinny enough or am I going to see it? I'm probably going to see it. So we're going to take that one and we're going to lop that one in half. Now these are my adhesive scissors. Back in the day, Stampin' Up, when we got red rubber stamps, we got them as a whole sheet. And you had to cut out all around your stamp. And so you got to go as close as you wanted with this, with the craft and rubber scissors. That's what those are. I never got rid of them because anything that has a sticky to them, I use these. And now that Stampin' Up does not have the paper snips anymore, those are my paper. And then back in the day, we used to have these really, really nice rubber scissors. And when my husband comes into my bedroom and asks to use scissors, I ask him, what are you using them on? And I told him he is never, ever allowed to grab my scissors without asking. Okay, so we're going to now put that, I think, don't want to cover up my words, but we want to have a little bit of shadow, and so we're going to go up there. And then that is, nope, I want that a little bit more up. So we're just going to lift, and oh, we're just going to put that back in. There we go. That'll work. Okay, there we go. Yay. Okay, so then now we're going to add our berries. And then we're going to take our lovely pine cone and we're going to put that on a mini glue dot. Oh, come on. There we go. Face that off a little bit. And then another mini glue dot for our bow. Squish and squish. And that's going to go like that. And then our hello, that's going to go on mini dimensionals. So we're going to put one there and there. And let's cut another skinny piece for our H. There we go. I think that might be a little chunky. Maybe that'll go. Whoops, get back here. Anybody else talk to their paper? I do. Okay, because I talk to my cats. I talk to a camera. There's nobody here with me in this room. All right, so I'm constantly talking to myself. All right, so we don't want this to hang over. So we're going to lay that there. I think that looks okay. But I think this one we're actually going to put right here. Okay. Oops, I forgot to take off the backing off of that. Duh. See, if I had people here, they'd be saying, take off your backing. There we go. Now, okay, you never know what they want to cut the same with the bottle gun. I don't understand. But I speak where people don't understand as well. Okay, so now that we have this beautiful card, we're going to take adhesive to 2 sides lined up, okay? And you're going to take this one and you're going to try to line its center right before the fold, okay? So I think I want to move it over just a tad bit. I just set it down. I didn't push. You know how they say, you know, use the glue, the bottle glue, because it, you know, has a wiggle room? Well, if you don't push down, you have wiggle room too. Now we're going to push, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half, okay, so that the adhesive is right here. And then we're going to flip this over so it grabs that adhesive. And there we go. We have that little pop-up thingy. All right. So then now we're going to put this, we're going to put the adhesive right up at the top there, side to side. And we're just going to go squish. And then we're going to put more side to side. And we're going to close this. And then we're going to put that right there. So that is what it looks like. Ta-da! Okay, so I actually got a little bit too much adhesive up there, so I am going to remove that. Just a little bit much. You're going to see a little bit of the mechanism, but it doesn't matter. There we go. Good as new. Oops. Got a glue booger. Thank you, Pauline. All right. So then now, so that opens up like that. We still need to add one more greeting. And this is going to be in Early Espresso. And we're going to push this back a little bit so that it's going to say, it says, wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. And then the inside of the card is going to say, happiest birthday wishes. Now, I just want to make sure, because this is an old ink pad, and so it kind of is a little warped. So I just want to make sure that I am getting the best greeting. Okay. So just tap, tap, tap. No squish, squish, squish. No squishing. Okay, so then now, the Wink of Stella. So we're just going to do the pine cones. Now, if you don't want to do the pine cones, that's okay. but I add Wink of Stella on everything. I'd send this to a guy for a birthday, and I don't care if he doesn't like glitter. I'm celebrating him, so too bad. So sad. Okay, so now we need to add, like I said, I took rhinestones and I colored them with the dark Stampin' Blend Pecan Pie. So then that way it would kind of coordinate. And now I'm going to put my lid back on my People Poker and grab my largest rhinestone. And I'm going to put that in this, nope, I went to put it in the corner to accentuate the really cool die cut images. And then we're going to put that right here. And then we're going to put that, I think that would look funny right next to the O or the E. So we're creating a triangle. Okay, and then we need to put the Wink of Stella on. Okay, I need to put my lid back on. And we're going to do the berries. That we used. Okay, and you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of the green. Bow. I don't do all of it, just a little bit of it, just to get that little. And did I do the hello? I think I did the hello too. So we're going to do the chunky parts of the hello. And if you feel really steady, you can do the whole thing if you want. Me, I am not that good. I can't color within the lines. I don't want it to bleed very well. So there we go. That is card number 2. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so that's the second. Well, technically they made 5 cards at the stamp camp. So this is Facebook Live. Number 441, card 2. I'm going to put that on the back. Okay, so there we go. So that is using the two-toned cardstock and the branching out bundle. Okay, yeah, this happens to be my favorite card out of, or the favorite bundle. Besides, I love the Traditions of Christmas. That is a phenomenal suite. Okay, so just a few seconds clean up. And okie dokie. One thing about cleaning up is that I get to put everything away and there's nothing on my floor. Because I have all my stuff on the floor in containers. So this is what it looks like. So as I design, I put things in the container. So then that way I know what goes in it. Now, if it's really far in advance, then I write it down. So like, this is for the virtual event. Flyby, that's the virtual event. That is not one I've ever showed before. So what I'll do is I'll write cheat sheet with the measurements as I design, and then I write down everything that's included so that this is my shopping list. So then that way, if this was the in-person event, then I know which stamp sets to take with me, but then also what stamp sets not to, or what ink pads not to reuse unless I have multiples of that particular color. Now this one, we're using Artistic Leaves. It's from the online exclusives. Then we used the textured note dies. Then, let's see here. We're using the Woven Textures Designer Series paper. Now, this Sweet collection actually has 2 Designer Series papers. The black and the white is on the last chance list, and that was my favorite Designer Series paper. I was actually going to use that, and then it was like, oh, it's on the last chance list. Well, what happens if it went away quicker before my stamp camp? I don't want to say here something, but you can't buy it because it's really, you know. So anyways, that's the Designer Series paper of that suite. And then the natural matte dots, which are part of that suite as well. So I kind of stuck with it. And then also we used linen thread, which is from the annual catalog. And we're using 2 punches. This one is the 2-inch punch, and this is the 2 3/8 punch, and they're both in the online exclusives. Now this is actually a gift card. So I made it that way. They can use. I try to make a lot of birthday cards just because it's things that a person who comes to my stamp camps can probably use. Okay, so like I said, we're using the Artistic Leaves, and I took basically, we're using a Sweet collection, but we're not using the stamp set that went with it. I just want to show that this leaf in the online exclusives is really cool. And it's not something that they've had before. Oh, gosh darn it, get back there. I was trying to slide it off. Okay, you're irking me. I don't have fingernails. Go. Apparently there is some type of adhesive that is or static electricity. I don't know. It's not sticky. All right. So then this, oh, I guess there's, well, there it goes. All right. So then I die cut everything for them, which was basically this piece. So all we need to do is stamp a greeting on it. But I lost my train of thought, and I don't care. Oh, the Sweet, or the leaves, the Artistic Leaves. They don't have anything that went with it. So I'm using things that I have that are available and that I thought that you or the people that were coming to my stamp camp might like. So this is the front of the Designer Series paper, and we used gray granite as the card base. Now I'm just using the adhesive just around the edges, okay? And then we're going to take this 2 3/8 hole punch, and we're going to punch a hole. Not the whole thing, okay? So you don't want the whole circle. You just want part of it, okay? And these two pieces you wanted separately. So what I told the stamp campers was that to take this with them, stamp the leaf on it, and then put it on the envelope. That would be kind of cool. Okay, so then now that is our punch. And this we're going to attach. To the inside right here. Okay. I wanted the tweed look, so when you opened this up, it didn't clash with the other side of this. And then we're going to take, I think I had tear and tape for this. I don't remember what I did. I think I did tear and tape. So I don't have that sitting out. So we'll just grab some tear and tape. All right, and then we're going to grab my Pampered Chef scrapey thingy. Okay, so we're going to grab the silicone mat, and I want the darker circle. It has more gray granite in it, so this is the one I want facing out, okay? So we're going to put a little bit of tear and tape right there, and we're going to go close to the edge, and I'm going to use my Pampered Chef scraper and push off, okay? And then we're going to go across, and then go push, and then right here. I know this is tear and tape, but I don't like my tearing. It's not straight, and it leaves all kinds of ledges. And then we're just going to take that, burnish that so that it's stuck very well, and then grab the people poker, and if you go in the middle, you're not going to basically fight the grabbing, trying to find the end, you're trying to fight, but if you were push it in the middle, it lifts up so much easier. So that is the tip for that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab the actual gift card. This one I used. And so this is the open area. Okay, and so what I am going to do is I'm going to put this in here. Okay, I'm going to line it up. And then that's straight, okay? Now I'm going to push this in. You don't have to do that, but that's what I did to help make it so that it would accept it. Because if you don't, if you were to put this in here, it would be like really flat, okay? And then push that in, and then that is your gift card, okay? We're not done yet. All right, so then we're just going to do something easy. We're going to take this piece right here, and we're going to stamp on it, okay? So I'm going to move that for just a moment. Stamp silicone mat. And we're going to grab our messy. Okay, so we're going to do tone on tone. This is Crumb Cake. And we're going to do crumb cake, and we're going to fill up the leaf just like that. And then we're going to take this leaf and we're going to stamp off, okay? And then we're going to line that up. All right, and so you could see there's just a little bit in there, okay? And then we're going to take this and we're going to stamp, oops, our greeting. It's hanging out everywhere. Okay, so this is going to be full strength, and we're just going to leave that like that. We're not going to put the second coat on there. And then, oh, yeah, we did. I did that. Never mind. We're going to put the second stamp off. And then, there we go. A little tiny shadow in there. And then we're going to do the little leaf in the same. And this one's falling. And we're not going to do any of the inside on that one. And then we're going to do, close that up. Oops, nope, I need to do one more. I forgot. We're going to close this, okay. And then we're going to stamp the big leaf. Just like that. Okay, so we folded it, so then that way it doesn't get ink on this side. And now we're going to close this up. And we're going to add the greeting. Now this one's going to say, celebrate today. And that's going to be in black. And that's going to go right across the top there, a little bit on that leaf. So then that way you can sign whatever you want. And then this, uh-oh, my screen went dark. Battery power. All right. I'm going to put my cord. I'm going to plug that in. Okay, so hopefully you stuck with me. Okay, then we're going to do the greeting. Hello, sweet friend. And that is going to go there. Beautiful. Okay. And now we're going to close that up and we'll finish the card. Okay, so we're going to take the gift card out because I don't want to accidentally send it because, you know, whoever wins this card, you know, would hate to get a $25 gift certificate to a gas station and then, oops, it's empty. Joy, thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to put that. I want it center, but a little bit, you know, covering up that, but that's okay. Then we're going to put that there. And we're going to put dimensionals on our leaf. Okay, so we want to make sure that we stay in with this area. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, and 3. Okay, stab and grab those backings. Yep, I had to get it. Okay, so we're going to put that back in the hole. Oops. And line. Line that up. There. I guess, you know what? There we go. Duh. Okay. Lay that back in the hole that I'm fighting with. Okay, and then put the leaf on it, and it will grab that leaf and it will stay there. And then there's your gift card holder. All right, so then now we're going to grab the twine and 1, 2, and 3. And just kind of go like, well, see if it is very, what's the word? Loopy. Okay. It just wants to go wherever it wants to go. And that I'm fine with. Okay, so that, I don't know where that came from. Little shiny bits. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of adhesive right there. And we're just going to lay that down. And you can go right there. Come on. Get in your bit. And then we'll add, hi Dawn, welcome. Yes, I'm still on. We're doing 3 cards tonight from the Stamp Camp. So this is the last one that I'm showing tonight. Dawn came to my Stamp Camp. All right. Oops. And if you can't, stick with the whole thing, you can always come back and watch the replay. All right, and then we're going to put our embellishments on, but it's sticky to the table. Come on, there we go. And we're using the white. Ow, poked myself. At least there's no blood. Okay, so then, okay, fine. Boy, you're being really, what's the word? Adhesive-y. That is not a word, but that's okay. I don't care. Adhesive-y. Okay, so we're going to put that one there. And woo, shoot that across the way. And now we're going to put that right in there. So different spots. Okay, so then now Wink of Stella. And so we're just going to kind of do the veins a little bit. Okay, so that's the outside. And then you open up the inside. And then ratings of the stamp set. And so that's why I don't color in. Stacy, hi! Poor wireless connection. Luckily, I'm almost done because this is like the 3rd time my it stopped. Okay, so this is card number 3. So if you like my designs, you are going to want to come to the in-person event, or I should say, and you're going to want to do the virtual event. So here is one that you're going to be making for the virtual. And where'd the in-person one go? I don't know where it went. Oh well. You'll just have to watch the beginning. So, this was the first card we made tonight. And then this was the second card we made tonight. So you're going to have to go back and watch the replay if you didn't catch that. And then this was the third card that we made tonight. So which one's your favorite? 1, 2, or 3? As I throw them around. Okay. So, if you want to get entered to win one of these cards, do a thumbs up or a heart. Then you can get entered to win by doing that. If you leave a comment, if you've never been on my Facebook page before, leave a comment. All you have to do is say hi. And I would like to know where you're coming from. So that'd be kind of cool to hear. And then share this on your timeline. Thank you, Tina. That is very sweet of you. Oh, Dawn, number 1, really? Okay. It's nice to hear that. She made all 3. Actually, she made all 5 of those too. But then share this on your timeline, because there might be a person that's on your timeline that you didn't know that they were a paper crafter, and maybe they haven't touched their stuff in a long time. So seeing this video might entice them to get their crafting supplies out and make something fun. And then, you know what? Put that card in the mail and then make someone's day. I mean, I hear back from people who win my Facebook Lives that they're so excited that they got picked. And I'm like, I'm excited you actually watch my videos. So that makes me happy. And by winning a card, you in return can either A, keep that card as an example, or you can send that off to somebody's who needs a card and a smile. Happy mail. That's what we do. You like number 1? Okay, that's great. All right, so that is, I got to write it on here, otherwise I will forget. Facebook Live number 441, card 3. Okay. So, that was so these were the cards, and then this is from Facebook Live for 440. And so this one, you just open it up a little bit, because that circle, and this is also a gift card holder, and this is using the Fall for Twall and the Earthen Tone Metallic. And then this is using the Designer Series paper and the ripping technique, and then using the stamps to color in, and then shading a light blue on the background. And so then your card, thank you, Barb, that's very sweet of you. And so this was the actual stamp camp. So you got to make 5 cards if you RSVP'd by a certain date. If you say, my friend Laura, she's a demonstrator, she came, she just paid $20, but she RSVP'd, so she got all 5 cards. for $20. And so, guys, I want to say thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Thursday evening. Go back and catch the replay if you did not see the tips and the tricks that I talked about with a die set that takes up like the whole sheet, and then how to use the parts that you don't necessarily use as stencils, because we made a stencil on here and we made a stencil on here. So go back and rewatch the replay. I will also put this on my YouTube page, so if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page and do a thumbs up and all that happy stuff. Guys, thank you so much. Without you guys, I wouldn't be making Facebook Lives. I mean, this is 441. So, like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. So, thank you for tuning in and watching the original or watching the replay, and then telling me what you like and what's your favorite and things like that. So this happens to be my last Facebook Live, and this is 439. This was my original, and the one that I made was this one. So I made a landscape and a portrait. So just to show you that this was Facebook Live number 29. So I just took that, changed it, and then flipped it around. So that's what I've been doing lately. So guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me on Karen. I'm about to leave. I'm sorry. It's nice to see you. I just see you popping on. Go back and watch the replay. So if you guys are in town, go and register November 1st for the in-person event. And if you aren't in town, you can register for a different virtual event. And I'll be using the same stamp sets as I will be in the in-person, but they'll be totally different cards. So thanks, guys, for hanging out with me on a Thursday. I know it's a little later than I normally go, but I started early. So have a great night and a great weekend, and happy stamping.